Hello everyone, thanks so much for joining me here at Cooking Healthy with Coastline. I am your host, Stephanie Boulay. I'm the registered dietitian for Coastline. I'm really excited about this recipe today, not gonna lie. Very excited to try it because I personally love Thai food. Love Thai food. And so we will be making a Thai red curry noodle soup. I also love soup, huge soup fan. I can have soup any time of the year. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do first. I'm gonna put a tablespoon of olive oil here in my pan. And I have some rotisserie chicken here that I've already cut up. But if you don't have a rotisserie chicken and you have chicken breast, you would cook that first and then set it aside. But because I already have that, we're gonna add that later. So we're gonna add, I have 1 onion here. Nice hot pan here, that sizzle. Okay. I have 1 red bell pepper. And then I have 3 cloves of garlic here. Okay. So this is gonna cook until it's tender. So it's gonna take like maybe 3 or 4 minutes. But what I love about Thai food is that they use so many fresh vegetables in their cooking. You know, whenever you leave a Thai restaurant, you don't feel like, oh, why did I eat that? It was so heavy. Thai food's not like that. It's just so if I'm kind of getting that sort of Chinese food craving, my go-to is usually Thai food, hands down. So I'm gonna add a little sprinkle of salt here. Now I'm not adding salt here to make these onions salty. I'm adding it so that way I can increase the flavor of the salt because it brings out the natural sweetness that's in there. Okay, so like I said, I love to use rotisserie chickens. If I could, I would use them all the time. They're just so easy, they're so convenient, and I can just cut one up really quick and then I am good to go and on my way. But yeah, you can easily, if you wanted to do this like a vegan recipe, you absolutely could do that if you wanted to make it just plant-based. You could substitute the chicken for tofu, or if you wanted to add any kind of fish to this would be also very delicious. Yes, we're just gonna let this cook for a few minutes more. Okay. So we're gonna be adding, the recipe calls for a low sodium chicken broth. Love that because some of the other ingredients that we're going to use, like fish sauce, is pretty salty. So you wanna try to avoid, putting other products into your food that are really salty. So if you look right here, see, low sodium chicken broth, that means it's got 140 milligrams or less per serving. So that is heart healthy, that's good for your blood pressure. It's good for everybody. We eat way too much salt in this country. Way too much salt. All right, so it's been a couple of minutes here. I can see that my onions are starting to sweat. So now we're gonna add the red curry. So the recipe actually calls for 3 tablespoons of red curry, but because I'm a newbie with red curry specifically, I'm just starting off with a couple of tablespoons. And then if I want more, you can always add more. All right. Ooh, that smells so good. Yeah, we cook a lot with red curry in our house. Not so much the red, so this is like really cool for me. And we're also going to add some fresh ginger in here as well. And if you don't have fresh ginger, no worries, you can always do the powdered. Substitute it to your liking. So back at Coastline, I was telling everyone about this recipe. And there are people, I found out that there are some real curry lovers out there. especially green curry. Green curry is another one that I haven't experimented with in the kitchen. So who knows, maybe that will be my next kitchen assignment, is to try to get, to work with a little bit of green curry. All right, this is very fragrant. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna stir in that low sodium chicken broth. So the recipe calls for 6 cups. So I poured out 2 cups. And then I need 4 cups. So there's 4 cups in here. That's easy math. 2 and 4. Here we go. Now, if you're trying to make this a vegan recipe, you wouldn't want to do a chicken broth. You would want to use a vegetable broth for this. I have some family members who are vegan, so I'm very well versed in how to make foods for our family. All right, so we have our 6 cups, but we're also going to add 1 cup of coconut milk as well. Whoop. I had it in the fridge, so it's a little, I put all my ingredients in there, but not to worry. Once this, it's actually really cool. I did an episode with, I did coconut whipped cream. So if you take coconut, canned coconut, and you put it in the fridge, you leave it overnight, the hard, like the saturated fat from the coconut actually floats to the top, and you can make whipped cream from that. Oh my gosh, it's so good. But I had thrown all these ingredients in the fridge, so that's why you see this hard fat like there. So not to worry, okay? Like, what is that? Did that go bad? No, 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 not at all. All right, so this, I'm gonna turn the heat up just a little bit more so that way that can get all nice, nice in there. Okay, and also if you started cooking up that chicken, if there's any brown bits on the bottom, you want to make sure that you scrape up any of those bottom bits because that will add so much flavor into your dish. Okay, so this is all nice and evenly blended now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our chicken. And very carefully because this pan is hot. Yeah, so it's about 1 to 2 pounds of chicken. Again, if you wanted to do this as more of a plant-based meal, that would be very easy to do. You can just add some tofu in here. Okay. Here we go. Lots of protein. Okay, so now after you've added the chicken, you're gonna let this cook for 10 minutes and stirring every once in a while because you really want the chicken to absorb in all of that flavor. Okay, so my chicken's been cooking for 10 minutes in the pot here. So now it's time to add our rice noodles. So at the store, they had a white rice noodle and a brown rice noodle. So of course, naturally, I chose the brown rice noodle. It's got a lot more fiber in here, and you only need about half the package or so. And this doesn't take long to cook at all. It only takes about 5 minutes to cook. So we've got our noodles in here. These babies are gonna cook beautiful. Okay, and now I'm gonna add the fish sauce. So again, fish sauce is pretty salty. So if you're watching your sodium intake, you don't wanna go too crazy on the fish sauce, okay? All right. Here we go. I'm only going to start out with half the amount because again, just like with the curry, it's not something that I'm overly familiar with using. So I'm just going to give this a nice stir here. Okay. Okay, just going to try a little bit. Let's see. It's delicious. Very easy. All right. But we still have more to do. So as this is cooking for the next 5 minutes, we're gonna add some very fragrant, beautifully flavored greens. All right, so I have a green onion here that we're just gonna thin ever so slightly. Here we go. Again, this is really gonna give it that nice, fresh flavor. Love, love, love that about Thai food. You know, we don't need to add a lot of salt to our meals because we can get so much flavor just from what's coming from the ground. Okay. All right, so we're just gonna add this in here. All right, so, oh, and there's one more thing that I had wanted to add, actually, was a little bit of sugar. The recipe actually calls for brown sugar, but I didn't have any brown sugar on hand, which is totally fine. So I used about like a teaspoon or 2 of sugar, but brown sugar would also go very nicely. Okay. All right, so I got my green onions over here. I also have some fresh basil. So good. I love basil. I really do. So I actually did, this was a few years ago, it was a chicken salad recipe with fresh basil in it and apricots and slivered almonds. I have always remembered that recipe and I have loved it and cherished it for years. Okay, so we got some fresh basil and maybe just do a little bit more. Okay, and then last but not least, we're actually going to do some cilantro. Love me some cilantro too. I know cilantro is kind of one of those herbs that people either love it or they do not. If you don't like the cilantro, you could always do some fresh parsley to it. No worries. And this green's gonna add such a beautiful color, right? Because we got a lot of red. We got a lot of red from the curry. We got it from the red pepper. So all of this extra green is gonna be just so beautiful on top. Okay. Hello, cilantro. Okay. And now, also at the end, we're gonna add a fresh squeeze of lime juice to it. There we go. Ah, wonderful. Okay, so now that this has been cooking, just gonna give it one last stir here. So now that everything is cooked, I'm gonna take it off the heat. And then we add our fresh herbs. And you serve it right away. There you go, remove that from the heat. Move that over here, here we go. Give that a little bit of a mix. Here we go. Look how beautiful that is. It's so colorful, so fragrant. You get that, you know, the green onions, the basil, you know, and once it hits that heat, it's just all these flavors. It's so aromatic. Then we're gonna add a little bit of lime juice in here. And voila, there you go. We have our Thai red curry noodle soup. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope that you loved this recipe. Please stay tuned for more episodes and don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great day.